Hello, folks. Welcome back to World War II TV and a rather impromptu little Woody's Thoughts session. Don't worry, it won't be very long, 15, 20 minutes. And I'm going to present it kind of in the form of a shit sandwich, if you don't mind. So kind of good news, bad news, and then good news to kind of finish off. So the good news is views are up on World War II TV. Everything's going pretty well. We now have in the region of 92,000 regular viewers, maybe more. So there's about 57,000 subscribers, but there's also lots of people who watch who are not subscribers. And if you're one of those, please consider subscribing. It's one of those things that really helps us creators to know that we're valued and that our content is appreciated, and it helps with the infamous, notorious, tricky to understand YouTube algorithm. So that's good news. We've also got in the region of 2,000 new subscribers every month, and another massive, that won't seem massive, a massive increase is the number of women watching. The early days we had a less than 1% women viewers. We're up to a massive 7% now, which doesn't sound huge, but when you started at 1%, 7% is a massive increase. So thanks for everybody for sharing it with the fairer sex, if that isn't a really patronizing comment to say. But and of course there are other people watching it as families. We know Willie and Nikki watch it together, although it's Willie's account watching it. So that's good news about the women who are finding us. And if you've been following the Philippines week, then you'll notice that 4 of the presenters this week were women. Another one contacted me this afternoon about another Philippines show. So that's fantastic. So yeah, 700% improvement in women viewers. That's fantastic. So that's some good news to begin with. And I want to also extend my huge gratitude and thanks to those of you who are regular viewers, who comment all the time, who share what we're doing on social media, all of you in the sidebar. I'm not going to list you all now because there's lots of you there. So that's the good news. The bad news is YouTube is starting to not favor history creators. Some of the big YouTube channels I know are struggling with views. Views are dropping from where they were a year or two ago. They're struggling with videos being demonetized. And that means that less people are finding their videos, less people are being recommended them in the sidebar. Now, must stress that's not happening to me yet. It seems at the moment that my recommendations are up, but it looks like the trend is that creating history content is going to get harder and harder. And what I mean by history content is the really complicated, nuanced, deep dives that we do, the controversial stuff, the graphic stuff, talking about, as we did this week with James Zobel, the hell ships, the POW experience. We've tackled the atrocities of the Holocaust, all that type of thing. That kind of content is not going to be as pushed in the future by YouTube as little 15-minute videos about here's a cool tank or here's a cool gun, which YouTube and viewers seem to be lapping up. Now, if you're watching this, you know what I want to do. I want to bring you serious history. Now, serious history when you're studying World War II means death. It means destruction. It means, wanton devastation on a biblical level across the globe. And if you're going to tackle the subjects, you have to look at that. You have to cover collaboration. You have to cover the difficulties of societies recovering financially from the war. We look at all those things, double agents, people changing sides. It's all the, you know the story. So I'm not being affected right now, but the trend is not good for the future. So the reason for this is to encourage you, if you haven't already, to consider becoming a patron. Now, one of the things that all of us creators hate doing, because it feels so cheap, it feels so, cap in hand, begging people, because as I just said, we've almost 92,000 regular viewers. It could be as many as 100,000. Our subscribers have doubled in the last 12 to 18 months. Views have doubled in the last 12 to 18 months. But the number of patrons has only increased by about 5% in that time. I'm pretty much where I was in total monthly contributions from Patreon about 18 months, 2 years ago. What happens each month is a few new people sign up, which is fantastic. But I also lose a few people because people don't necessarily update their payment details, so people just move or lose interest in World War II. So this is a real heartfelt plea to encourage a few more of you to dip into your pockets and starting at just $5 a month. Keep what we're doing going. It works out that only 0.4% of the viewers of World War II TV are helping financially. 0.4%. So I have an ambitious aim, and that's to get to 1%. Now that sounds really low. That means for every person watching who's supporting me, there are another 99 watching the content free. Now, as you know, if you've been following me from the beginning, I will always put my content here on YouTube. It will always be free. I will never hide my content behind paywalls. I will never save the best stuff for those who are paying towards me to see first, and then the rest of the world see it a week or a month later. Everything goes live. Everything is there for everybody. So what that means is I need you to kind of look at your conscience, if you like, and consider how much of my content you're watching. In an average month, World War II TV creates between 15 and 20 new history programs. That's between an hour and sometimes 2 hours of brand new history with a usually world-renowned historian, or at least the very best in their field. We have historians from 32 different countries appeared so far. And I realize, I'm just looking at the comments here, it is tough times for people. But people, I know I'm going to have to pay for the Apple TV subscription because I want to see Masters of the Air in January when it comes out. So I will be doing that. I'm sure many of you will be doing the same thing. Looking across the board, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, other services there between $5 and maybe $15 or euros a month. I'm asking for maybe even $2 or €2 a month. If another 1% of viewers give me €2 a month, that makes a huge difference. Now, the reason this is important is we're coming up for 2024 next year. So 1994, this is the good news. Good news is starting to come in now, folks. I want to cover Anzio, Casino, D-Day. I need to say D-Day there. That's I don't know. D-Day, Operation Bagration in Russia, the Burma campaign, Guam. A lot of things happened in 1944. And to bring you, as I want to do, the best historians with the best content, covering all those campaigns and keeping on going to 2025, 2026. We can get back to, when it gets back to the 90th anniversary of the beginning of World War II, we can start it all again with looking at 1940 again. So lots of things. Yeah, there's lots of operations. Widhorn, there's so many potential subjects for next year to discuss. Now, that means I have to spend a huge amount of my time putting these shows together. And I'm not being all, pathetic about it. I do spend a lot of time doing it. Now, right now is the time tour guides like myself are looking at their calendars for 2024. And I really accept my World War II TV tour in April and my World War II TV tour in October. So that's a week-long tour. And if you haven't heard about that, contact me and I'll tell you all about it. Outside of those periods, I don't really want to do much guiding next year. Not because I don't enjoy it. I like going out, but because I want to devote my time to this channel. And, Brad, who's watching right now, will tell you how much time it takes to put content together. The easy bit is just me hopping on here with the historian and talking for an hour and a half. That's the easy bit. The work that goes into it is the preparation. It's the countless emails. It's the countless checking back and forth, the messages, the responding to the comments on YouTube, the prep I do, the making sure I don't look more than an idiot than I naturally am when I'm interviewing someone about the subject, all that kind of stuff. West African railways coming up there, and of course there's World War I TV with incredible Lucy Betteridge Dyson. I want to put more time to help her with that. She's busy doing things. I want to put more time in that as well. So in answer of James Holland, he has become a permanent invitation to come onto World War II TV whenever he wants. He is just insanely busy, James. He will be on at some point, either talking about Salerno or we'll bring him on in part of the Anzio or the Monte Cassino week, but he will definitely be back on at some point. So here we are again. The point is, I say, I want to just increase the number of patrons. And, I know times are tough. Everyone is struggling, but and it's a cliche, it is the price of a couple of cups of coffee. That shouldn't make a dent in your income, but it makes a massive increase in what I'm doing, because this, I would like it to become my full-time job so I can devote all my time. I'm still not making anywhere near what I was making when I was a full-time battlefield guide. I love this. You can tell I love this. And just because I love it doesn't mean I aren't restricted by my finances around me. So that's it. That's the plea here, is to just consider, if you're a regular viewer and you enjoy what we're doing, consider becoming a patron. If you don't want to become a patron, the other way, and I've done this before in a previous show, is just a one-off payment. If you just watched one show, I get lots of comments from people, and I'm so pleased by them. When it's someone who's found the show because their grandfather or their mother or their whatever relative was involved in the unit, and they get something out of that one particular show. And maybe they won't go on to watch another show, but maybe if they enjoyed that show, they could drop me a $5 or $2 super donation, which if you're a subscriber, you can make a donation at any time when you're watching a one-off show. So that's just a one-off. Just, you know, you had a good week. You've had a bonus at work. You got a discount when you bought a meal out for your wife, your partner, your girlfriend, whatever, and you've got a couple of bucks spare in your wallet. Well, maybe consider just banging a couple towards World War II TV if you've enjoyed the content we do. So there we are. That is, you know, that's really what I'm going to say. But while we're on the subject, I said it's going to be a bit of a shit sandwich. So that's the kind of negative bit out of the way. I'm just going to play a little kind of montage really of some of the shows we've got coming up. So these are the title screens for shows we've got coming up. I won't necessarily tell you when they're coming up, but they're all ones I've been working on the last few weeks and months. To just give you an idea of the amount of subjects, we've got a fantastic economy week coming in November where we're looking at the might of factories. We're looking at Lend-Lease. This is one of the shows there. Mark Wilson's going to come on and talk about the factories in the USA. I can't wait for this one. This will be probably sometime in March or April next year. This is a chap who's written extensively about the Rangers. That's a subject we haven't done before, well, in Italy. U-boats, this is going to be in December, in Submarines Week. This is going to be a fantastic one. Again, this is going to be part of the Economy Week. Larry Ferrero wrote an incredibly fantastic book called Churchill's American Arsenal. He'll be coming on talking about that. This is next week, part of Railways Week. Nicola's coming on from Italy to talk about the bombing of the Brenner Pass, which is kind of featured in the novel Catch-22, which is one of his inspirations for putting this together. This one I'm looking forward to. This will be around December in my Fighting in the Cold Week. Alicia is a fantastic young historian, award-winning historian, who's going to be bringing her skills to World War II TV. Wendy Goldman's back into Economy Week, talking about how the Soviets moved their factories away from the front line to keep on producing stuff. This is going to be a fantastic one. Dilip Armin, it works at the RAF bunker, the Battle of Britain bunkers. We'll be talking about the integrated defense system. So the plotting tables, you've seen it in the movies. That I'm looking forward to. This will be next year. Lindsay Dodd is coming on to talk about the wartime memory, children in France. And I've already had a couple of patrons actually sign up while I'm doing it. So fantastic. The message is getting out. This one, I don't know when this one's going to be, but it's about an incredible war correspondent. I'm liaising with her agent, the author's agent right now, but that's going to be coming up at some point. Philip Blood is going to be doing a Christmas show about the Waffen SS as fighting soldiers. We've talked about them a lot in terms of the atrocities they commit, but Philip Blood, the amazing Philip Blood, is going to be looking at assessing whether they deserve the reputation of, sometimes they're referred to as elite soldiers. Are they good at what they do? Well, Phil Blood will explore that the subject with you later on. This is going to be part of our Submarines Week. Ian Ballantyne, fantastic author, fantastic World War II TV supporter, talking about British submarines fighting against the Japanese. Dan Cazzetta is going to be on next end of next week or the week after, talking about the incredible story of his latest book, Baltic Resistance Against Both the Nazis and the Soviets. That will be fantastic. Another one, James Scott, coming on there, fantastic. He'll be talking about submarines. That'll be really good. This is another one. I've got Nicole kind of pinned that down to coming on. Just got to work out what it's going to be. She wrote a fantastic book about Königsberg and how it became Kaliningrad. So another kind of German and Soviet subject that'll be coming up at some point in the future. Another submarine show. This is part of Submarines Week coming up later this year. Mark E. Stilley did a couple of fantastic shows about Leyte Gulf. He's coming back to just a masterclass on Japanese submarines. Andy Aitchison, a legend on We Have Ways, coming on to talk about the 52nd Lowland Division. That'll be a part of Tommy's Week later in the year. Can't wait for that one. This one took some doing. This was lots of emails back and forth via their agents. Bob Drury and Tom Claver are coming on to talk about the 2nd Battalion Rangers and Hill 400, which is an incredibly important battle in the Hurtgen Forest based on their fantastic book. Can't wait to that one. That'll be really good. This is going to be next year. Christian Wolmar was on in the first Railways Week, and he hinted about his book about the railways in Normandy, the Liberation Line, but this will be when he's the book is out, so sometime next spring. Can't wait for that. Ben Main, incredible Ben Main, hasn't been on for a while, doing Operation Charmwood. This is kind of a teaser for lots of Normandy shows coming your way next year. Gavin Mortimer, once he's back in the UK, will be coming on, talk about various things, probably Paddy Mayne and the attack in Sicily first, but also maybe a show on Bill Sterling at some point. I'm arranging with Gavin right now. This is Saturday. This is our next show on World War II TV. Francis Neri, who I made contact with via Tonnet, is going to be giving an absolutely amazing presentation about the Philippine Army Air Corps. So I've seen the slides. You're going to learn a lot on that one, as I will. I always learn like you learn. Another one for the winter, John McKay is coming on talking about PQ-18, so one of the other convoys to the Arctic. And these are just some of them. I mean, I've got loads more I'm working on. So I'll put it back on my screen again now. So some of you have already been true to your word. We've got some super savers coming in there, super stickers. Thank you very much. That's fantastic. I'm getting some messages coming in about Patreon. So fantastic. So there we are. None of us creators like doing this. You know, it's like begging, but you kind of have to do it. You have to remind people that this is my job. This I love doing it, but it's, you know, some people can just have a YouTube channel on a very occasional basis, and they can do a video once a month or something. Well, as you know, I'm creating 5 or 6 new shows every week, sometimes more than that. I take the odd week off to travel and do stuff which is part of my my downtime, and also research for future shows and future guests. But the point is, you know, I just need to remind you all that I'm most appreciative of those who can't support me financially, but I really would like a few more people who could help out. As I said, I will reiterate it again. That's saying the same thing twice, but I will never put my stuff behind a paywall. I will always put my shows here on YouTube. I'm basically asking you to just feel the love, and yeah, $2, $3, $5 a month at the starting rates. You can help by some people give me $25 a month. It's fantastic. It seems cheap doing this. It seems cheap requesting help, but the point is, you know, I need to think about the future, and YouTube is going in a direction that may make it harder for creators of history content to make anything out of it. Demonetization, less adverts, less revenue. The YouTube members also help, but the YouTube takes a large percentage of that. Patreon is better. Another new channel member, that's fantastic. So there we are. As Brad says, he's struggling himself. We cancel each other out, Brad. I don't support you, you don't support me, but we support each other in those other ways of mutual respect and support and providing guests. And that's the thing, you know, yeah, I'm very grateful. For that. I'm rambling now. Yesterday I spent most of the day with Liberty Phillips. If you don't know who Liberty is, watch the show a couple of weeks ago. She brings young kids to the Normandy from America, and she's amazing. And sitting and talking to 11 and 12-year-old kids and how they are learning about history. And of course, if I put this channel behind a paywall or a definite defined monthly subscription, 12-year-olds wouldn't be able to find it. They can't pay for that. But a lot of you watching can pay for it. You know, we all pay for things every month. We all pay for subscriptions for things we use. I pay for all sorts of gadgets and things like that for the streaming, little subs to this, the antivirus software. We all do it on a monthly basis. And I think, you know, just there we are, a little bit extra from a few more of you watching, and it would really help me out. So that's it. The shit sandwich has been served. Good news, views are up. Bad news, I'd like to get the patrons up again, and good news, we've got some great content coming your way. So I will shut up. At some point, what we will do in the future is we'll do another Ask Me Anything, maybe towards Christmas. Maybe I'll fit one in before then, but I will do an Ask Me Anything. But as I say, I'm just spending all my time squirreling around to put these shows together. YouTube takes about 30% ish. It depends on whether it's members or advertising revenue, and it depends on which countries, blah, blah, blah. You know, and Andrea said, kick Netflix out. Mag and I keep having a discussion about, do we bother keeping Netflix? Because I don't watch much. I don't have much time, and most of the content they're creating, I don't watch. But let's be honest, folks, if you're a World War II buff, this channel brings you a lot of content. If you're a history buff, On This Day Military History with Brad brings you a lot of content, and there are some big providers out there who perhaps don't need the support as much as the independents like myself, Brad, Rob at History Explorers trying to do stuff, and he's trying to do it for charity as well, which is even better. So there we are. I just want to make sure you understand that this I'm not an eccentric millionaire sitting in a castle doing this for fun. I do it for fun because it is fun, but I have bills to pay. I'm in a rented accommodation. I blew my savings years ago. Don't let me get started about running a business in France and having employees and things like that. I just would like to be able to push forward, knowing that this is my steady future, my steady income, so that in 2024 and beyond, I can bring you the same content and bring you. So there we are. I'm going to let you go. I'll see you all on Saturday. Hopefully, it's an afternoon show, depending on where you are in the world, about the Philippines Air Force. And then next week, lots more content coming your way. Thank you for the super stickers. They're all coming in there. Bart, Angela, those of you who support, you know who you are. I love you guys already. You're already doing a lot. Some of you, people like Willie and Nikki, right from the beginning, have been supporting me since day one. Darren Little watches everything. This isn't directed at you. You're doing more than I'm asking you to do. It's the anonymous viewers who come in and take the content and don't necessarily think about who I am and how I put this together. It's those people I'm trying to get through to. But I said about 20 minutes. It's 21 minutes. It's time to end. I'm going to go and have dinner. Quiche tonight. Mag's cooking quiche. I always look forward to quiche night. And I will see you all on the other side on Saturday. Thanks for your attention. And I really hope I will see some nice emails coming in from Patreon. If you don't know how to support me, the link below is how you can get to Patreon, the World War II TV account there. There are various tiers. And you can just sign up and you give your details of your bank card or whatever, and it's very straightforward. And you can cancel at any time. So that's it. Just consider us lowly content creators as human beings, and we know that we have to put food on the table, and also just sit back and enjoy the incredible content because these incredible historians give their time. I will see you on the other side. Cheers, everybody. Bye.